Half day, everybody, and welcome back to the Hotspot. I have friends of mine in the KOM News Zoom room from the human resources industry on Guam, something I've talked about many, many times over the past 2 years, an essential component, invaluable aspects of any organization, be it the private sector, government, GovGuam, and everything. The people that know HR are really, really, truly the heartbeat of any organization. And there is a big conference because our friends at the Society for Human Resources Management, the Guam Chapter, are having their annual conference, and we got some rock star speakers coming up. So I have attorney Mike Pangilinan, Daphne Leongro, and Yoli Padronas joining me right now. Half a day, guys.
Half a day, Jason.
Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. I hope that little preamble was gave due credit to you fine folks and the very good work that you guys do in HR. So thank you, guys.
Well, thank you, Jason, and I'm glad that when you said rock stars, you're talking about the lineup that's coming in, not necessarily who's on your show right now.
well, you guys are like truly rock stars for the work that you do and everything. But yeah, Mike, let's not bury the lead and everything like that. So when we actually show up to the SHRM conference, I love the name Game Change HR. Who came up with that first?
Our very own Mike Pangilinan.
Michael, is there anything you're not good at? You're a musician, you're an attorney, and now you are like a marketing savant.
I'm just an apprentice HR SHRM person. I'm the newest member of the board, and I learned so much from Daphne and Yoli. So I think I was inspired. There was a few different themes that we were considering. One of the themes was changing the game. I think Yoli came up with some really good kind of overall selections that we could choose from, and I think I just tweaked something that Yoli had suggested and changed it to Game Changer because it's easier to say, it's faster, and it makes for a nice logo, especially with the HR at the end.
Well done, Mike. Okay, so let's talk about the featured. Shall we call Johnny the keynote speaker? I mean, because speaking of inspiration, this is someone who is really going to drive home the message to anybody that has worked in human resources. So tell me all about that, please.
Yeah. No, he is super excited to come back to Guam. As I think we've established in other shows, his daughter is half Chamorro, so his daughter is half Guamanian, and so he's been really excited to come back, and he's been a really huge supporter of our Guam chapter. But he is the most dynamic speaker, especially in the field of HR, and it doesn't hurt that he also looks a little bit like Usher. So he's got it all. He's got, very dynamic speaker, and he's here to really drive home that point about, HR being the game changers in the organizations. And one of the things that he did say during the annual conference is his call to action for HR is be a thermostat and not a thermometer. So thermometers measure temperature, whereas the thermostat changes the temperature. And so that was one of
I like that.
Yeah.
That's very, very clever. And I mean, the message is not lost.
No. Yeah. So that was one of our key takeaways. And it was, everyone had an aha moment because he called us, he was on the stage and he was like, I urge HR to be the thermostat and not the thermometer. Change the game, change the temperature, and don't just passively measure it. And that's what we're here for.
Okay, Yoli, let's go to you for the next question because Johnny certainly is has achieved legendary status in the HR community because not only of his speaking style and his presence, he's style adds substance and everything, but the body of work that he's been able to achieve and what the lessons he teaches to you fine folks and everything like that. So what will people attending this conference be able to take away as far as the body of knowledge?
So we're really excited. We're very fortunate to have him again. One of the things that he's going to be leaning on is his work. He's written a book called Reset. He featured that on our last, we hoped to have him last time. So he's going to talk a little bit about that and really everything that's happened since he wrote that book. So all of the changes, SHRM is very data driven. So we're very fortunate to be able to have a lot of the information, the data for him to use as a background to the information that he'll share with our HR professionals. So we're really excited. Beyond being such a great leader, he really pushes us to transform human resources. as the Guam chapter, our goal is to elevate HR for our island. And he just is able to really, really encompass that into a speech that really motivates people and HR professionals after having such a challenging 3 years with COVID. He really takes us to the next level in terms of what is necessary for us to thrive in this environment. So we're really excited.
Absolutely. So, Mike, with opportunities, as we like to say, there also come challenges, and, very few things in the world of competitive business from the private sector are very, very easy. So, how has the local HR community been able to weather the storm and kind of like, share our collective experiences and be able to learn from that for the betterment of our organizations?
I think, Jason, that all the challenges that we've gone through, one of the most important things that we've had is that the HR community is a community. And so members of the executive team of businesses, you're not going to see like vice presidents of different companies gathering together and sharing, sort of information to help each other to improve their situation. We have highly competitive industries here. The HR community, they stick together, they help each other, being members of SHRM is a big part of that, but just HR in general, the idea is you're trying to keep a safe workplace and achieve sort of a comfortable, happy environment at work. And that's a huge task. And especially in the environment that we've been in the last few years. So just by sharing information, by being open to new ideas and open to change and transformation, and that's what we've had to do. They've had to adapt. They've had to figure out new ways of reimagining the workplace, because the workplace is really not, a set place anymore, given that you can't always work, all together in close proximity. Over the past few years, you've had to adapt to different, staffing requirements, all the different changes in the law that have come out. We had 100 or so executive orders that came through over the last couple of years that we had to then figure out and deal with, and just all of the changes going on nationally and locally. But I think the most important thing is that the HR community is a real community, and they really stick together and help each other.
I absolutely agree. And I'm on like the more technical side, but I absolutely agree. And I'm envious to some degree, because I wish that my subset of organizational behavior had like the collegial environment that you guys had. And have, I should say. We want to remind everybody to register now for the annual SHRM conference. It's at guam.shrm.org. You can find all the registration information there. And we want to make sure that you guys get good seats, because you guys are absolutely going to be able to be blown away by Johnny, who, is not going to read from script. A lot of what he does, I know, is he plays off the crowd. He feels the tempo. He's done his homework on Guam and knows, the vibe that we have here and everything like that. So it's going to be an absolutely high impact, high octane, and very, very effective presentation. Daph, I'd like to go to you for this next question. So aside from all of the trials and tribulations that the HR community affects, nationally and internationally, like Mike said, for anyone who has made the decision to work in the profession, what are some aspects of organizational behavior on Guam that make us unique?
Organizational behavior on Guam. I think what Mike mentioned, I think where we're unique is we do band together a little bit more, because we've had to. So as Mike mentioned, it's building that community of knowledge and support so that it can help us to do our jobs more effectively. We do face a lot of unique challenges here on island that are problematic, and that is, of course, our location for one. So our hiring pool is considerably smaller. In addition to that, our compensation lags behind the US by about 30%. And so it gets really difficult for us to hire and retain top talent because of our geographic location, for one, and then the lack of a deep talent pool on island. Not to say that we don't have good talent on island, we really do, but it gets harder, especially in the current economic situation and this pandemic situation that we're still living through, to keep those employees. And we've seen, I can speak for my company, but I think also Yoli can attest to this. We've seen significant turnover in our employees. A lot of them are relocating off island, or a lot of them are just going to other jobs, and it's definitely a candidates market right now. And those are the challenges that we face as I think a community here is how do we navigate that talent shortage, and how do we keep our employees within the organization and attract new talent as well.
Very true. And I love the fact, Daph, what you said, that, like, we all more or less face the same set of challenges in HR, but, you're all coming together through SHRM to develop common solutions. So, yeah, we may be, like Mike said, we may be competitors perhaps in the same industry. We're fighting for the same employees, maybe for revenue, but by no means do we want to put each other out of business and, like, out on the street. And I've said this before, Inafa Maulik also on Guam exists at the organizational level. We take care of our neighbors here.
I definitely agree. Yeah, we share knowledge all the time. But I would like to say, though, that HR can't do it alone. We definitely need our business leaders to support us and to be partners with us for change and for improving the environment within our organizations and on our island. So yes, we definitely have this strong partnership within the HR professional community, but I think we need more partnership from our business leaders in general. Yeah.
Okay, Yoli, I'll give you the final words. Make a final push, if you will, to encourage people, maybe not just members, but anyone who can really take quality information away, like ideas and messages and concepts that you can use immediately in whatever organization you have. What will the conference deliver to them?
Sure, thank you. So one of the things that I think is so unique or wonderful about human resources that managers and leaders can really take cues from the things that we learn from one another and from the resources that we have available. What we do is usually the result of something that has been lost along the lines of leadership. And so to be able to scale up as leadership on the island, this conference really is for HR professionals, but everyone is an HR professional so long as you work with people. So we really truly encourage everyone who is available on Friday, August 19th, to come and join us at the Dusatani. It's from as early as 7:30 if you want to come in early, up to 4:30, and then we'll have a gathering afterwards to connect and to share with one another. So what can you take away from this conference? I think it's so important to be able to have a sense of, one, inspiration. There's motivation to continue through this pandemic. It's not over, so we need to band together and strengthen one another. And then there's a lot of takeaways in terms of legal insights from our attorneys on the island, as well as business leaders who will share what they did and how they survived through the pandemic and how they're going to adjust and to transform as a result of all the things that they've learned. So really, this is a conference for everyone. HR professionals, we're always excited about meeting each other, but we do invite the business community and our legal professionals as well.
Does that include slightly jaded broadcasters?
Yes, absolutely.
You are a guest of honor. Yeah, we're so honored to have you there with us.
Speaking of rock stars, we have the best host presenting best host, event host in all of the Western Pacific.
Oh, I've been replaced. Oh.
Handling our event. And that's Mr. Jason Solis.
Oh, no, thank you guys for letting me have the honor of emceeing this event. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And in no small part due to the fact that you guys have put together like an amazing lineup of the speakers, of the activities, of the networking opportunities and everything. So, I mean, this by no means is one of those stuffy conferences where you sit there, take notes and, fool around on your iPad, play Candy Crush perhaps and everything like that. This is something that is absolutely captive viewing, and everybody there, we all guarantee it, is going to take something away from this that is of infinite value.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Mike, final words are yours.
So August 19, Dusatani Resort. We got Jason Solis going to be taking the stage in the morning. We got Johnny C. Taylor, who's the president of the Global SHRM. You've seen him on CNN. You've seen he's part of he was a part of the White House Employment Council Commission. He's been all over the world, and he's like the leader of the SHRM Global organization. It's a rare opportunity to get someone of that caliber out to see him in person. It's really exciting. But lots of other great presenters, including the Attorney General, who's going to give an update on the cannabis regulations that are about to go into effect that are affecting a lot of businesses. We have Superior Court Judge Danny Gutierrez is going to give a presentation. We've got immigration lawyers from Bauman, Condis, and Chu and Black that are going to give an update on immigration law changes. And we've got a whole mental health segment with a great mental health panel, including Dr. Juan Rapadas, Dr. Maybe you can help me out.
We have Andre Bainham, from IHP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
And then we also-
Judge Gutierrez is a past president of SHRM, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
That's right.
Nice.
So we have a mental health panel of mental health experts and industry professionals that are going to help talk about sort of how to get through the workplace mental health issues. And so we have a huge lineup of great presenters. United Airlines presenter is coming out, presenting from the United Airlines corporate office, coming to Guam to do an hour presentation. So we've got huge lineup. There's an exhibitor hall that you'll be able to walk through. It's really going to be like being at an event. It's sort of a big expo type of event / conference. And so you're going to have a great experience. It's something you don't want to miss.
All right.
August 19th, Dusatani Resort. We're going to change the game on August 19th.
Very nice. Spoken like the future vice president of marketing, I'm sure, if you ever get tired of that whole lawyer thing, Mike. All
Even
right.
if you just come out to see Jason Solis, that's
No. So register everybody like right now, not after lunch, not 5 minutes from now. Register right now, guam.shrm.org. You are not going to regret it. It is absolutely amazing. So Mike Pangilinan, Daphne Leon Guerrero, and Yoli Padronas, thank you guys for putting this together. It's going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait.
Thank you,
so
Jason.
much.
Thank you.
All right. And we will be back with more show right after this. Please stay tuned.